Greetings, chess players! My name is Chris Torres. This is Daily Chess Musings, and I am showing you live coverage. I am privileged to be broadcasting live coverage from the second Mission 360 Bay Area GMIM Invitational Norm Tournament taking place in San Jose, California, right now. Let me go quickly. My windows are a little messy right now. Let me. I want to tell you what this is all about before I go look at the boards. So here we are. This is Mission 360. It is a nonprofit organization started by two very impressive young men, two FIDE masters, Kevin Pan and Eric Lee. Both still in high school, and they created this organization to create norm opportunities for players in the United States, more norm opportunities. Specifically, a lot of California players are taking advantage of these opportunities. Getting norms is what you need to get titles from FIDE, the World Chess Organization. But unless you play against an international field of a certain stature in rating, then you can't get these norms. And in the United States, we have such a big surface area that it's very difficult to get a percentage of foreign players of a certain skill level to commit to coming to these tournaments. Kevin Pan and Eric Lee have figured out the secret formula for doing it, and they are doing their second. This one finishes on April 5th, I believe, and then the third one starts on April 6th. 3 in a row, because if you're going to get a whole bunch of players from faraway lands, grandmasters from faraway lands to come to the Bay Area, you might as well do a whole bunch of them in a row. It's just logistically easier. So here we are taking a look at the games. Let me adjust my screens just a little bit. This seems just a little closer than, hang on. Let me adjust this just a little bit. There, so we have just a little bit of border between the chessboard and my head. It's not running into each other. And let me go and check out what's happening in the games. We are looking at round 7. Round 5 was beyond exciting. Beyond exciting, I say. Round 6 was a grandmaster class in endgame technique, and now we are in round 7. Let me find the earliest games of round 7. This is round 6. Round 7. All right, Michael Lee, international master Michael Lee versus David Berkses. What do we got going on here? Let's try and find out. All right, so we start with c4 in English opening. b6. That's an interesting response. Black's setting up to do an early fianchetto of their bishop. So kind of a hyper-modern approach to an English opening. White goes ahead, places another pawn on e4. A potential target for black when they put their bishop on b7. It's going to be right on the target square. There it is, bishop b7. Knight c3, developing a piece, defending the center pawn. e6. So potentially this bishop could come out and undermine the defense of the pawn on e4, right? Okay, so interesting. d4, complete domination in the middle of the board by white in the early going. Bishop b4, as expected, pinning the knight to the king, which undermines the defense of e4. Okay, and then, whoa, what a neat way to defend the pawn. What a neat way to defend the pawn, bringing the queen out early. Don't try this at home, kids, right? We actually do. Always just have fun. Um, Bringing the queen out early is usually very dangerous because it can be developed against easily with threats, right? So, for example, they could play knight f6, but boom, see, nothing's defending g7. So white's got that all figured out. And the queen on g4 not only is threatening g7, but defending e4, which is necessary because the knight on c3 is pinned. Interesting start. Interesting start. I like it, Michael Lee. Very exciting. Next board, let's take a look. We've got two of my favorite players from this tournament playing each other. International Master Josiah Stearman versus FIDE Master all the way from Poland, Maria Malika. Let us take a look. What do we got here? So d4, okay, queen pawn opening, knight f6, could be a lot of things. c4, this is, kind of traditional. You're grabbing a bunch of space. See, you can't, against knight f6, you obviously can't play e4 without intending to give up that pawn. So to grab more space, when black doesn't meet you in the center, you play c4. Makes perfect sense. g6, so we've got ourselves an Indian game. Maybe a king's Indian. We don't know quite yet. Knight c3. d5. You know what this is. Do you know what this is? This is the Grunfeld. Oh boy, the Grunfeld. Something's becoming more and more popular with the really cool kids these days. The Grunfeld. Cx d5, knight takes d5, and then guess what? White can play e4 against that knight, right? Boom! There's the space against the knight. Knight takes c3, pawn takes. White has nice space. Black has a beautiful bishop. See this? Beautiful. That's a beautiful bishop, right? But white's got two pawns in the center. So it's a battle of ideas. Classical chess versus hyper-modern chess. And the Grunfeld is just fun stuff. You might find a video or two on the Grunfeld on the Daily Chess Musings YouTube channel. I think you will. Knight f3, and black plays c5. Why is black playing c5? Because look at all the action here. Look at all the action on d4. This bishop coming down the diagonal, hoping to get even more scope, threaten the rook. The knight's defending d4. This pawn's defending d4, right? Everything is about d4 right now. That's the Grunfeld. And h3, what does that do? Stops the bishop from g4, which could be uncomfortable. Castle, bishop e2, knight c6. Everything is about d4. Four things attacking the d4 square. Makes perfect sense. If you like this kind of idea in the opening, you might just like the Grunfeld. Or if you prefer white's position, you might like playing against the Grunfeld. And why does that arrow keep drawing like that? I am saying go away. Bishop e3. Again, more on d4. C takes d4, cx d4. And wow. White still has those two center pawns. So this whole... Now this bishop has improved, right? Because now there's one less pawn in between it and the rook. But, I mean, what are you going to do about this now? Well, maybe you got to attack the center a different way. Let's see. F5, of course. Yeah, attack the center a different way. Bishop c4, check. Because if you move the f pawn, you expose your king. King to h8. And then e5. So now, maybe the attack's gonna start moving, toward trying to create something, make e5 weak. But black needs to try and get the rest of their pieces in the game, and by By this pawn moving forward, it could create weakness, like down on the other diagonal, perhaps, right? Maybe they're protecting the dark squares, but maybe the light squares might be problematic. There's B5. Generally, white does not take here, and there is a reason for that, and I'm trying to recall. Oh, I remember now. Ah, you don't take because queen a5 check. Ah, yeah, there's a good reason for that, isn't there? Yeah, so you cannot take that pawn, ladies and gentlemen. All right, bishop b3. Queen a5 check. Bishop d2. Queen b6. Back to this idea of d4. All right, so that's the Grunfeld. That's what it's all about. Looks like we got 9 viewers in the house. We are watching top level chess. That's Josiah Stearman from UC Berkeley versus Maria Malika from. Let me turn the slideshow on too, so you see what the players look like. That's what Austin May looks like. It says so on chess.com. From Poland, Maria Malika is. Okay. Let's go to our next one. What do we have going on? C4, C5. Okay, symmetrical English. Yep, English opening stuff. White grabs a little bit more space. Getting pieces developed. This is Ming Lu versus Gabor Nagy. And white takes the free extra space here, but it also locks the center up, right? So there's not going to be as many early attacks. Knight a5, e4, castle h3, stopping again bishop to g4. Any ideas of that, or possibly a knight g4? It's a good move. And then the center is completely locked. Bishop e3. So this is going to be a long and hard game. A long and hard game. You want to make slight improvements to your position. White doesn't need to be in a hurry. Ming Lu doesn't need to be in a hurry to castle because all 4 center pawns are still on the board. We'll check back in. This one's going to be one of the probably last ones to finish. Center's so locked up. All right, let us go to our next game. Now this is an interesting position. I don't recognize it right off the bat. A French defense, okay. And now that's interesting. Black brought the bishop out and like that. I wonder what the name of that one is. It's on the tip of my tongue. I remember a really old game with this variation of the French defense. What was it? It's on the. It's going to come back to me in a moment. No big deal. Bishop d3. Knight d7. Okay. So this is unusual, right? Normally you get maybe a pawn on c6, not the bishop. But I've seen this before in an old game. Knight e to g5. Let me see that again. Knight e to g5. Wow. Threatening stuff on f7 right off the bat. Threatening h7 twice right off the bat. This gives black something to worry about. Let's give him something to worry about. Okay, and this is Austin May versus Leonid Udison. So good for you, Austin. You're giving him something to worry about. And I'm still trying to remember what's the name of this friend. It's I'm terrible with opening names. I wish I need to do some better. I need to get like flashcards. It's not really important to me as a chess player to know all the names like really fast of the different things, but as a broadcaster, since I'm doing so much broadcasting, um, it would be useful, right? Know the names of what we're talking about. Um, so Austin May is a FIDE master going against Leonid Udison, Grand Master. Very exciting, and hopefully we don't see another quick draw. Leonid's been getting a lot of quick draws, and I know he's a fabulous player, so I want to see some real chess from him. I really do. I was thinking maybe this is the Rubinstein. Now I remember. Yes, the Rubinstein variation. I knew it would come to me. Um, I think in that, the knight goes back to e4 and then black attacks it with knight f6. I think that is what we're going to see. The Rubinstein. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Named after Akiba Rubinstein, very gifted chess player. Um, there are so many chess players. I hate to overuse the phrase one of my favorite chess players, but Akiba Rubinstein, absolutely brilliant chess player. Absolutely brilliant. So we will be checking in on this one a lot. And as is our case, let's look at this. Knight f3, knight f6. And this is Eric Lee versus Vyam Vidyarthi. c4. Okay, so this could go a lot of different ways. e6. This could still go a lot of different ways. e3. b6. Okay, so now maybe we're transitioning into like a queen's pawn game. Maybe. Bishop on the long diagonal, knight c3. And then now we're going to kind of see. Okay, so I think this falls into the Nimzo-Indian category. The Nimzo-Indian category. And it's one of these Indian defenses where instead of fianchettoing your bishop over here, you bring it out this way, right? Also known as just the Nimzo. And we've seen the Nimzo a few times already. Bishop d3, castle, castle, take, take, d6. So white has a little bit more space. But black has a beautiful, beautiful bishop, and the knight are combining very nicely on the e4 square. So right now, black has control of the e4 square via pieces, not pawns. I wonder what white's going to have to say about that. We'll find out. We will find out for sure. Let's see. We got 8 viewers. That's a reasonable start. Again, this is round 7. Yeah, because tomorrow's 8 and 9. Tomorrow is rounds 8 and 9. And we're going to be here, get yourself a nice cup of tea. Make sure you're in your comfy clothes, and we are going to be here for a little while. This is classical chess at its finest, played in Northern California. Let's see. Which game do I really want to put my first focus? You know what? This is such a fun and interesting line. And I don't know it. I mean, I have to think, what would I do if I was David Berkes. This is a tough choice already, right off the bat. Um, how do you deal with that G7 thing? G7 threat from the queen on G4. What do you think the best way is? I'm thinking a few moves ahead, as is usually the case. You don't want to just respond to a threat right away with just a one move idea, because in the opening you need to know where all your pieces are going to go, where they're all going to be working together. So this coming weekend, I will be in Santa Clara, California, going over games live. Um, what I'm curious, the one move I'm really thinking about a lot is the knight f6. See, as a very aggressive player, I might be tempted to do that, but it looks awful dangerous, right? I mean, you're allowing the queen to take on g7, and then what happens? And this is what I'm, spending a lot of my calculation time on. It looks like a fun test, but is it something that queen f6 is played? Okay, so um, that's a lot safer. That is a lot safer of a move. Makes sense. Um, yeah, the knight f6 was like a gambit of sorts, right? Because here it is. If the knight was here instead of the queen, then the queen could have taken there, right? Let me go back a move so it's even clearer. This is a little tricky. This is what I was looking at. And I'm not sure. I would have to do some opening research. But what I was fascinated by, oh, it was black to move, is if knight f6, queen g7, um, and then you got double attackers on e4. c3 is pinned. Rook g8, I think. That's what you play first. Get the queen out of there. Get the queen out of there. Then, once you've forced the queen to move, then you're going to be free probably to take here, right, with your knight. So that would have been exciting. Um, then if, rook g8, queen h6 probably. And then it's haphazard. It's a totally different opening, right? Very exciting. It's gambiting the g7 pawn to gain initiative. And yeah, um, it's kind of a poison pawn variation is what we like to call these. It's where your opponent brings a queen out early, takes one of these pawns, and then you get a whole big attack on them. Um, there we go. Let me erase these. Sorry about all these errant arrows. But queen f6, so no poison pawn variation here. Queen f6 was indeed played. But looking at the poison pawn variation was a little fun. I don't know. I don't know the answer to if it's 100% playable or not. So we have to trust David Berkes' judgment here. Um, my instincts say maybe it's playable, but we know Queen f6 is playable. And now, what do you think White should do here? Develop another piece? Maybe bishop d3 looks pretty good. I might even, play like knight g to e2 instead of knight f3, and we'll get to that in a moment. Why that choice would make more sense. But knight f3 is totally playable as well. But and then e5 is like e5 is another one of these weird moves, right? Because you're giving this bishop too much scope, maybe too easily. But you're moving the weak pawn forward while attacking the queen. So black's queen would have to move, and you've moved your pawn forward, so it's not being threatened. You don't need to babysit it anymore. These are complicated variations, and I'm a little out of my knowledge base. Even discussing these, I don't know these lines, but they're fun to look at. All right, so that one. All right, let's go here. Wow, this one's moving along, cruising really fast. So we were here, and this is the Gruenfeld ideas. Seems like both these players know their Grunfeld stuff because they are playing very rapidly. And now maybe white's going to castle. I'll go ahead and make a prediction there. Josiah Stearman and Maria Malika. Then we've got Ming Lu versus Gabor Nagy. This was the one that has the big closed center. Everything's closed off. So who knows? Who knows? You got to figure out what you want to do with your pieces. Where, for example, where is the bishop on c8 going to go? Do you want to just leave this out here? I suspect Gabor Nagy really knows what he's planning in this line, but it's kind of weird to have both your knights on the rim like this, right? Your fianchettoed bishop is buried behind your pawn, and your other bishop doesn't really have a good spot. All right, so knight f4. So white cannot castle, otherwise they look... Oh, they could actually. Not that it would be the best choice, it looks like, but they could. Knight is defending the bishop. Tricky stuff. Again, I have to go through the checks, captures, and threats. And I mean, we want to castle, but I don't want to lose my bishop pair, so, maybe bishop f3. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to go with that. And then, yeah. Again, we're in no rush to castle because the whole center's closed. Your queen's still guarding d3 from the knight, so bishop f3 is what I'm going to predict. What do we got here? These are, these openings are not my specialties. We're back to the Rubinstein French defense. Let's go back a couple moves back in time. Oh! My goodness, this is the old Rubinstein line. This is like from that classic game. I was actually thinking right here. I think a lot of modern players are preferring knight e4, but knight e6 is fun. So Austin May goes, and then instead of taking back with the pawn, Leonid Udison pins the knight. white castles, and now fx e6, bishop g6 check. King has to move. No castling for black, but black's ahead by 2 pawns in material, and then a rook e1. See what kind of crazy genius stuff Akiba Rubinstein? Um, fun, fun stuff. Let's keep it here for a moment because I think we're going to see another move relatively shortly. Yeah, Leonid Udison, much older. Um, so energy level is at a disadvantage for him. As you get older, he's going against a young field. They have him in energy level, but he makes up for that in experience. Um, he has been playing Grandmaster chess for decades and decades and decades. I believe he was a team member, an Olympiad team member on the Soviet team. So even back when like it was a Soviet Union, this is how long Leonid's been a Grandmaster and how long he's been playing. I think he lives in like Brooklyn, New York now, but is representing Israel in this tournament. He's definitely one of those guys that I've wanted to meet for the longest time, and I should have the opportunity to this coming weekend. I believe I will have the opportunity to meet Leonid Udison, I'm hoping, this coming weekend. And he is a living legend. He is a living legend. So many, so many classic games, and who knows? Maybe we'll get to see a modern classic from Leonid. Who knows? He's agreed to a lot of early draws, unfortunately, in this tournament. So I think the energy level is maybe a factor in that. I would just like to see a really good game. I'm not going to root for either player, but I would like to see a really good game. And with the Rubinstein variation, and then the knight takes e6 line. Again, my name is Chris Torres. This is Daily Chess Musings. We are watching Mission 360, an organization started by 2 teenage FIDE masters who are good friends to create opportunities. You can, for players in the United States to earn norms. And you can find out more about them by going to Mission 360 for you. .org. Mission 360 for you.org. So, at some point, Leonid's got to get his other knight in the game, try and figure out this bishop, and then figure out how he's going to get his rooks coordinated together. So you might as well, I'm going to go ahead and make the prediction of knight f6, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. White is down a couple points in material, but they're making up for it with king safety and the ability to organize their forces. And we're going to see that. Eric Lee versus Vyam Vidyarthi. Let's see what just happened here. So Eric played queen c2, which sets up this kind of battery. But I don't think the intention is to actually take on h7. I think it could be to play e4. We'll find out. Yep, knight c6. See, because if that knight develops c6, then e4 only has one defender. That's what I'm remembering. Yeah, okay. So I did a little break between rounds, did some chess teaching. Still doing chess. It's a long, long day. If you are watching right now, thank you. Thank you for checking this out. My name is Chris Torres. I'm a correspondence chess master and a huge chess fan. I enjoy watching chess, and I'm also the Cal Chess Journal editor. So I'd be watching these games anyways. I thought I might as well share them with you. And beyond that, I'm also the Cal Chess Scholastic Coordinator. I've been involved with Cal Chess Scholastics for like 25 years, so like all these players I've seen grow up, all these local players into the players they are now. I remember them playing in just the local rated quads and such, and so it's just a real treat to see this generation coming of age and playing such good chess and doing such good things. Eric Lee and Kevin Pan. And Josiah Stearman. Got to add him in. He's now on the board of Mission 360. Sipping takes another sip of his cappuccino. Cappuccino with a little bit of cinnamon powder on top. Queen f6. All right. This is fascinating stuff. I was expecting knight f6. This is chaotic. The Rubinstein variation in the French defense, and it's turned into something. I want to say it has like a name that has something to do with like prison break or something as well. With that knight going to g5 like that, I think it's like the prison break variation for some reason, and it's Akiba Rubinstein, named after Akiba Rubinstein. This is interesting. All right, so I mean, this bishop should probably run away. Probably back to d3. But then, oh, I see. There's a problem. Bishop takes f3, queen takes, and this really helps Leonid out because he's ahead by 2 points, and his king's unable to castle. So you're trading off material, which is good when you're ahead material. Trading off queens, which is good. And also because then his king's not in hardly that much danger after queens come off the board. So to avoid a trade of queens, is knight e5 a possibility? It defends g6. What do you guys think? Is knight e5 a possibility? I don't know this opening. Because then if knight takes, you take back with check, and you're going to win the queen over there, right? Knight e5 looks fun. d5 is also another possibility, right? Because d5 puts something in the way. Wait a second, though, because then... All right, hang on. I got to do some deep calculations. I'm leaning toward knight e5. But you got to be super careful in these variations. super duper careful, but I'm leaning toward knight e5. I think this might be what Austin May plays. Let me put up the slideshow again for you so you see what these players look like. Oh, he plays d5. He does play d5. Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So you aren't going to take with the pawn because then you block your bishop, right? Yeah, it's not good. So you take with your bishop. And you got a bishop and a queen still on the knight here. Ah, my goodness. Oh, class is in session, ladies and gentlemen. Ready to get blown away with a tactic we just saw? I just saw right now. All right, so if bishop takes, queen takes, and if pawn takes back, rook goes and says checkmate. If bishop takes, queen takes, and then if pawn captures your queen, checkmate. What a trap. What an absolutely wonderful, wonderful trap. Checks, captures, threats. All right, so Leonid, I think, is still going to play bishop takes, but if queen takes, then something else. Not pawn takes. Maybe knight e7. Or maybe queen takes g6. I like knight e7 better. Okay. Fun, fun. Do you see that? Do you see this trap that might play out? Six viewers right now. Let's get that number up. We're going to see some excitement. Some great chess from Northern California. Back to our closed center. Let's see what has happened. All right, so we were here. I was highlighting all the kind of poorly placed pieces. Bishop did not go to f3, went back to f1. Okay. Bishop goes to d7, getting out of the back rank. Then g3, go away, Mr. Knight. Knight goes away. Queen goes to d1. That's interesting. Why is white moving their pieces back to the first row? Are they going to play bishop e2 again and then threaten the knight with a battery? Is this what white's planning to do now? That they've driven the knight back here? And then when the knight moves to here, okay, so I think what we're seeing is bishop e2, and then knight f6, and then bishop g5 is the plan for white. Some odd moves. The center is just like locked up, so you can do kind of these maneuvers. In the meantime, um, what is black to do? I guess we'll find out. I don't have a prediction for black right now. It's a very, very odd position for them. I do have a prediction for white. I'm thinking white's going to play bishop e2 and try and take there. So when they play bishop e2, then the knight's going to go there. And then they're going to improve this bishop with a pin. And thereby, white's improves their position. So we are watching Queen E8. Okay. We're watching Queen E8. No, we're watching the Mission 360 Bay Area Chess GMIM Norm Tournament number 2, live from San Jose, California. Oh, I get it. All right, so black's threatening b5, right? That's why he needs 2 on that diagonal. All right, so black is threatening the b5 push. White is threatening bishop e2. Might we see both? We might. We could very well see both. I don't know about that, though. Yeah. So I think, I don't know that black would allow their king to be this exposed. To get in b4 as advantageous as that is. But we've been seeing a lot of risky chess. So maybe. But this is nice. I like the idea here. I like the sentiment of let's play b5. Start working on opening this thing up. All right, here's the big trap. Again, if bishop takes, let me draw it out for you again, because I know we just had a bunch of new viewers, and we just discovered this through just some calculation. So the trap here is if pawn takes, then you've blocked off your own bishop. So black doesn't want to do that. In fact, if pawn takes, no, it's even worse. You just get checkmated right away, right? Hello. Yeah, so you aren't going to play pawn takes. And then if bishop takes, then you got queen takes, and then if pawn takes, then you got this again. So bishop takes is bad, pawn takes is bad, and unfortunately for Leonid Udison, this pawn is forking. It pushed forward, threatening the bishop. Aha, bishop takes. Now, queen takes. Is he going to do it? And then I think last time I was looking at this, I was suggesting maybe knight e7 there. Threatening the queen, and then threatening, yeah. I think this is what... There's queen takes. If pawn takes, it's game over. Even if knight takes, it's still very dangerous. Because you got this whole b7 situation too, right? I mean, this is helter-skelter. This is exciting chess. This is my favorite game. Knight e7 is played. So I'm predicting maybe queen takes b7. to b8. So the queen has to move. When the queen moves, then you get the bishop. This is what I'm anticipating. I've never seen this line before. I've seen the Rubinstein French. I thought I think the line I'm familiar with is not with the knight takes e6 like we saw here. Let me show everybody at home how we got here. So it's a French defense. And then we get into this Rubinstein line. So instead of a pawn, say, being on c6, as we often see in French and Caracan, we've got a bishop on c6. It uses 2 moves to get there. And this is interesting because as we see, this pawn push here didn't look good at first, but leads to some really fun stuff. But okay, so then black's getting their pieces, and white goes ahead. Black moved their bishop twice. So white moves their knight a 3rd time. And this is attacking both f7, h7, and as we see, e6. Such a fun move. h6 says, go away, knight. And then I was expecting knight e4. That's what I was expecting. Or possibly knight takes f7 is probably not sound, but looks worthy of consideration. But knight takes e6, that's fun. So you don't want to take with your pawn, because then you're allowing bishop to g6. So Leonid Udison plays queen e7, pinning the knight to the king on e1. Very tactical opening. Gotta know your stuff. And then castle, fx e6, which seemingly stops the pawn push to d5. But there's bishop g6. There's rook e1. And here, again, this is interesting. I was expecting maybe knight f6 here. But Leonid Udison plays queen f6, inviting the pawn push. Inviting the pawn push. Let me get rid of my knight arrow, because that was not played. It was something I was thinking. I was expecting that, and then the pawn push is played, and I'm like, what? Why is that being played? And then it all becomes clear. Any way the e-file opens right now leads to checkmate. So Leonid Udison played bishop takes d5. Then we get queen takes d5, which looks terribly exciting. If this was a speed chess game, you might catch your opponent by surprise. And then, again, this pawn can't take without checkmate being delivered on the back rank. So knight e7, forking the queen and bishop. And then I thought queen takes b7, rook b8. But, oh, and that's where we're at. Okay, this is where we're at. So I'm expecting queen takes b7, rook b8. Queen goes somewhere, and then g6 falls. Of course, you have to look at all your checks, captures, and threats. So rook takes e6. That's also interesting. Because then you're attacking their queen, and they're attacking your queen. See? Your rook's attacking their queen, their knight's attacking. This is chaotic. Boy, Leonid Udison has not been playing very energetic chess in this tournament up until this round. And now Leonid Udison is coming to life with something. This is romantic. This game almost belongs back in the 1800s, right? This is being played live in 2022 in San Jose, California. But it belongs maybe in the 1800s. Fascinating. Let us go to another position. here we are with the big, let's see. Okay, yeah, so, okay, so knight c6, and then I said maybe the queen and bishop were played like this to allow for pawn to e4, and indeed that's the case. And then black says, okay, you're getting too much real estate in the center. How about we exchange? Eric Lee says, no, thank you. I'm just going to take some extra space. Thank you very much. And now the black knight is pushed back. At some point, white might want to play f4. But the knight is on f3. Bishop's not being used yet. It could go to g5 immediately. It could also just go to e3. So we might see we might see bishop g5. Or, yeah, it's probably what we're going to see. White's center has moved onto black's side of the board. What is going on here in Josiah Stearman versus Maria Malika? This Grunfeld has gotten out of hand. All right, so we got ourselves the Grunfeld. Black's targeting d4 with everything until they target e4, and then e5 gets pushed. Oh, yeah. Remember, this is an important detail right here. If you're ever white against the Grunfeld, don't take this pawn because, yeah, you're going to lose your bishop. It's not a free pawn. Whoa. Whoa. All right. I'm starting to really like what's happening with Josiah's position here. I mean, this is a beautiful square for your knight to get to. That would just be, and it's just sitting there, ready to happen. And then you've got this. Ideal pawn center on your opponent's side of the board. Yeah, I really like white's position here. Something has gone not quite right in the Grunfeld for Maria. Josiah has a nice, advantageous controlling space. He's dominating space. And black has some definite weaknesses. I mean, this is just such a nice target. All right, so knight's under attack. Knight a5. Return the favor. Attack this bishop. Start exchanging. White's got a superior position. Take your knight. Trade it for this beautiful bishop. This is a killer piece for white. That's not the right diagonal, but you guys get the point. Let's go ahead and trade that off. That's the start. Okay, knight a5. All right, and then. But see, you don't get two moves in a row, right? So knight a5, I'm like, let's trade that off. It'd be great if you had two moves in a row. But you don't. Josiah gets to do something now. Two attackers, two defenders currently, but one of them is under attack. So we're not just talking about the bishop, we're talking about the pawn on d5. That changes a lot. Yep, you move the bishop, you're gonna lose this with tempo. So you got to push this forward. You got a lot of support for that push. It'll end up being an isolated pawn, but it'll be a deep pass pawn. Yep, d6. That's what you got to play. And white's pawns are just rolling across the board. Again, I think something went awry in this Runefeld. It would not be a popular opening for black if white just gets to automatically dominate the center. And Josiah switches. Nice. I see. So he's moving when the knight's no longer doubling up on e5. This is nice too. All right, so this keeps the flexibility in these pawns, right? Nothing's committing, and the bishop's now threatening the queen. Very complex, but I think most people would agree that white has a superior position. This is just dominating space. Dominate the center en route to dominating the game oftentimes. And let's see. I am going to take a short break. I am Chris Torres, correspondence chess master, a guy who wears a lot of hats in Northern California chess, and I am enjoying witnessing history. I would be having to cover all of this anyways, so I might as well share with you and raise awareness for Mission 360. I can tell my brain is fatigued, by the way. I mean, the calculations are, and the thoughts, I'm missing things, I can tell. So if you want to chime in anything that you know, special knowledge on these openings, anything you know that you think would be helpful for me, feel free to in the Twitch chat. I will be back in about 5 minutes. I will be running a free online chess club for everyone who wants to learn. To further this idea, I published a mission statement for Daily Chess Musings that reads, "All those who want to learn chess are welcome here." Our free weekly chess club begins with a live meeting Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Remember, you do not need to attend the weekly meetings when they are live to participate, and all students have an entire week to complete their suggested lessons. In this way, the Daily Chess Musings free weekly chess club is 100% flexible to your needs and schedule. New instructions and assignments will be given every Wednesday. If you have to miss a week, no worries. I will make all of the videos and assignments freely available on dailychessmusings.com so you can catch up when it's convenient. Special prizes will also be awarded for top performers in different categories. Plus, we will hold regular tournaments on Fridays and Saturdays, along with special events including scheduled matches between groups, simuls, group chess, and blitz games against me, Coach Chris. So what's the catch? There isn't one. I just want to give everybody the same opportunity to benefit from chess that I had as a child. For over 20 years, I have paved the way for the success of thousands of children regardless of their entry-level skill. By training with me, you will gain the valuable tools and skills needed to excel as a chess player. An extraordinary chess club experience with a top-tier instructor, the confidence and motivation necessary to surpass your chess goals and fast-track improvement. Hey
everybody, Shelby from American Chess Equipment. That's www.amchesseq.com. We're the official chess supplier of Daily Chess Musings. Now, if you're a tournament chess player or just need something for the home, check out our new clocks here. This is our Bobby Fischer chess clock made by DGT. It's the DGT North American, just with different colors and way better instructions. Now, if you really want a high-end chess clock, your kid wants a Chronos, but they're hard to find, or Chronoses are impossible to use. What you really want is you want the VTech. The VTech is something designed by me, Shelby Lorman, for the tournament chess player. It's easy enough for people my age, I'm in my 40s, to use. You don't have to hand it off to an 8-year-old to get set. If you want something really cool, we can do customization for you. We can customize clocks, we can customize boards, we can customize scorebooks. If your kid has a habit of losing stuff and you're sick of replacing chess equipment, check out our items here. Now, if your kid has a habit of losing his chess clock, this is something that we can do for you that nobody else can. It looks like a normal, everyday, high-end chess clock, right? Now, let's flip this around. You can see it's got my face on it and everything else. This is a vinyl ink that's very hard to come off. So even if your kid loses it, nobody's going to be able to keep it. Something really nice for the house, you got to check out our wood sets and boards right here. Now, if you want something nice for the house, I'd recommend something like this. This is our 20-inch pedestal board with our Zagreb set. Let me get this set up for you. Are we the end-all be-all for chess equipment? Maybe not. But we support Scholastic Chess, especially here in Southern California. And if there's anything you need, even if I don't sell it, I can help you find wherever you need to go. So, remember, American Chess Equipment, www.amchesseq.com for all your chess needs.
Hi, I am James Eade of the Eade Foundation. Who am I and what is the Eade Foundation? That's the subject of this video today. I am a chess player from way back when I was in high school. I would win adult tournaments as well as high school scholastic type of tournaments. I got very good. I could even challenge grandmasters and I could fight them. But I wasn't really as good as most of them. So I started to do other things. I would write chess books, for example. I wrote countless articles, 5 total chess books. And I did a lot of other things like organizing international master tournaments, grandmaster tournaments, various tournaments of various types, FIDE futurities, that sort of thing. And I did a lot of chess. And in 2018, the United States Chess Federation gave me the Outstanding Career Achievement Award. So that's a little bit about me. But what about the Eade Foundation? What's the Eade Foundation? The Eade Foundation was started to help build communities through chess. Chess is what I did. Chess is what I knew. This is the way I could help other people. And by sharing what I had, the resources that I had with those who did not have those resources, I felt that I could make a contribution to society, however incremental it was. It was a contribution. And so I found that this was pretty successful. And it was successful because I would get things like this. These are children in Uganda. These are orphans in Uganda sending me a happy birthday message. And I would get, the Divine Chess Academy was one example. They had to make boards out of the paper. And so I could send them real sets and boards so they could have resources to play. I helped in Zambia, South Africa, and other places. And this is what the Eade Foundation does. We help seniors too. Senior centers can start up and hold, because if we know that if they hold chess tournaments or chess clubs and start them, people keep their minds active. And even though it may not prevent something, a devastating thing like dementia or Alzheimer's, it can delay the onset of symptoms. So this is part of what the Eade Foundation does. The Eade Foundation also has the Arthur Award. The Arthur Award is given for chess excellence. Someone writes an essay every year, and this year's winner was Alexi Root from the University of Texas at Dallas. So these are some of the things that the Eade Foundation does. Help players, regardless of what language you speak, regardless of what country you're from, become part of the chess community. And if you're part of the community, You're never alone. So visit us for more videos on the Chess Files, Fridays, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And I hope to see you then, because until then, let's stay connected, be part of a community.
Can you move your leg? Ding, ding, dong. Good job! High five!
The game of chess is a beautiful game because you get to be the king. You get to command an entire army of chess figures. You are in charge. In life, you may not get to make all the decisions yet. In chess, you get to make all the decisions. Greetings, chess players, and we are back. Watching live action from San Jose, California, round 7 of the Mission 360 Bay Area Chess IMGM Norm Tournament Invitational. Live from, like I said, San Jose, California, Bay Area Chess Headquarters. This is exciting chess. Let's get right back to the boards. And okay, looks like Josiah's ended up with a passed pawn. Let's see how this happened. All right, so he has the big advantage in the pawn center. Rook threatens the queen, knight steps in, pawn scoots forward. And then I'm trying to remember what, well, obviously not bishop takes f3. Why was I think it was earlier I was thinking about bishop takes f3. Can't do it now because your queen's under attack, obviously. So ex d6, and then e6. This pawn's getting very far, very dangerous, and has some interesting support from minor pieces. So this is a very serious pawn for black to deal with. Let us move to another board. Sorry if I'm a little lower energy for this round. This is a long, hard tournament, right? And I'm doing some other lessons and things in between. But since I'd be following this anyways, I've decided to broadcast. And this is Ming Lu versus Gabor Nagy. And let's see. what has happened here. So in fact, b5 has not been played. I was expecting b5, and I was expecting bishop takes h5. Are we going to see either? All right, a4 is played to stop b5. So with b5 stopped, queen goes to f7. Bishop does not take knight. Instead faces off with its counterpart. King goes to h8. Is that because black is maybe thinking of playing f5? I think so, perhaps. I like white's position still. I mean, it's still... Black's side is getting more organized. This bishop is facing off with its counterpart. But these two knights are just out on the rim. Knights on the rim are grim. This rook hasn't been touched yet, and this bishop is blocked in. So I think most people would prefer white's side with better piece organization and more space. But I'm sure Grandmaster Gabe Ornegi has something in mind. Aha, and here we are in the nifty French defense Rubinstein. Did you know that the French defense was called the French defense? Let me show you this whole game is kind of interesting. It harkens back to a different era. So the French defense, this is how I think it was London versus France, 1934. It was a game by cable, a game by telegraph. City of London versus City of Paris, and Paris played e6. So it is now known as the French defense. London versus Paris, 1834. And then I think that's right. And then, oh, yeah. So then we get this interesting double bishop move. So it's not going to be a Tarrasch. This is the Rubinstein. Akiba Rubinstein had a lot of variations. I mean, he's got a famous one in the Queen's Gambit. Just a lot of opening variations named after him. It's because he was crazy genius at chess. I think he peaked about 1907, I want to say. He was really, maybe one of the best chess players in the world at the time. And this is like end of Steinitz reign. So you had other top players, vying to see who is going to be the next world champion. It was not Akiba Rubinstein, because I think a lot of his progress was stalled with World War I, and we'll just kind of leave it at that to keep the show family friendly. But I think he was peaking, and then World War I happened. It was a very violent war, and it disrupted his chess. And of course, he played chess afterwards. But like many players, he was forever changed. I think had he had the chance at the right time, then yeah, maybe he could have been a world champion. He was of that caliber, talent-wise. But it just you have to have the talent and the opportunities, right, and the timing. A lot of things have to happen for a player to become a world chess champion. Didn't quite come together for Akiba, but he has a bunch of variations named after him and a bunch of just great games. So here's the Rubinstein variation, and then the knight comes here attacking all these weak squares. H6 is played, and I was familiar with the knight e4 line here, not the knight takes e6. I'm very intrigued by this. This reminds me of 19th century romantic chess, right? Very exciting. attack. Look at this. I mean, you don't take back, so you aren't exposed to a check. Instead, you pin the knight to the king. I'll have to put this through all the my correspondence opening database later on tonight. See what I can learn. Maybe I'll share some stuff that I discover. White castles. So this is no longer pinned. And then pawn takes, check. King cannot castle, and rooks are going to be very difficult to unify. Rook to e1, nice. Placing a rook in the same file as your opponent's queen. And then there was no knight f6. I was thinking knight f6, but you know what? Leonid Udison was in a fighting mood and played queen f6, which allowed this really cool move. Exclaim d5. If pawn takes, checkmate. If bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes, checkmate. So I really like the variation these two are playing. This is a fun game. It's happening live at a real chessboard in San Jose, California right now. This is not played in the 1800s. This is happening right now. Bishop takes, queen takes, as expected. Knight e7, forking the two. And now queen could go to b7, right? But wait, rook e6. Queen takes g6. What an exciting, exciting thing. Saying if you take my queen, I take your queen, right? This is very exciting chess. Very swashbuckling. Gotta calculate right. We're only 14 moves in. I wonder what the best move here is. Do you think exchanging? That would help black, right? Black's ahead the material. Black would love to exchange. So if he can avoid it, Austin's going to avoid it. Also, black's the one with the exposed king, so you want to keep your force, especially your big weapons, to attack with. So white's queen needs to move, but it needs to keep an eye on e6, so perhaps queen b3, but then this isn't pinned anymore, and then you got the problem of knight c5, don't you? That forks these two. See how easy it would be to make a mistake? Wow. So you could try this, but then that's not pinned, and you got this fork again. And then we could go back and forth to a draw, I suppose. Oh, no. If queen goes there, never mind, queen takes. Right? He's sharing the diagonal with your opponent's queen. And as I said, Leonid Udison would like to trade. So I believe queen c4 defends the rook, still attacking the queen. And this knight can't move to attack white's queen. So it could be queen c4 is the is what we might see. God, I mean this is a little crazy again. I mean, if at all you can avoid it. If at all you can avoid it. I mean, here's another way to trade queens, right? If at all you can avoid it, though, white needs to avoid trading queens because black is ahead by 2. 2 points in material, and their king is stuck in the middle. Trading helps Leonid Udison. What an interesting position. Do you like this game? I like it. Austin May's time is ticking away. He does not get any bonus time. No bonus time. I'm going to turn the tourney slideshow on so I can kind of kick my feet off over here to the side. So I've been sitting in chairs a lot today. Stretch out a little bit. Austin May's time is ticking. Not playing the queen takes b7 move. That was interesting choice. So what am I saying? Way back here. Way back. Yeah. Maybe queen b7 was a better choice. But rook e6 looks really interesting, so. Time will tell. We don't know. I have a feeling Leonid Udison might know. I have a feeling he might. I have a feeling Austin May does not, because he's using an awful lot of time here. And this is Eric Lee versus Vyam Vidyarthi. Eric's got an advantage in space. Black's threatening a couple of his bishops with knights. You can neutralize the first threat. Might we see that? Maybe. Yeah. All right, so I'm thinking maybe knight takes g6. Sometimes it helps to see the moves in action so you can see what the flow of the game looks like. Such a fun game here. I'm just intrigued by the... And then we have this. Let's see what's happened since we last checked in with Ming Lu and Gabor Nagy. I haven't really been liking Gabor's position with his disorganized knights on the rim, and his bishops. This bishop's not great at all, right? All this stuff. But then I was saying maybe he's going to play f5, which is why he played king h8, right? And stack the rook and queen. So he does play f5, take, take. Knight moves closer to its goal. Knights are close range attackers. And certainly feels like white has a nice advantage here, but you gotta be careful. And I don't have a prediction yet for white. I'm not sure if it's that the games are that much harder for me to analyze in this round, or maybe I'm just a little mentally fatigued. It's one of the two. All in all, interesting stuff, though. Very, very interesting stuff. Yeah, I don't have a... This is a confusing position for me. I'm having a hard time coming up with a prediction there. I really enjoy this position, though. Really, really. And my prediction here is queen c4. Because it almost looks like the only way of not trading queens or losing a rook. Trading big material here would be giving Leonid Udison a probable win, and there are so many potential trades to be had. Queen takes b7 wouldn't work so great because of rook b8. So that's off the table. Queen b3 wouldn't work so good because of knight c5. Queen e4 doesn't work because queen takes queen. And white might have a really strong attack if the bishop wasn't in the way. But you don't have access to your other rook yet, so... Fascinating stuff. And Austin May's clock is ticking. It's getting down to 30 minutes. We've already seen plenty of chess players get into time trouble in this tournament. Sometimes successfully steering out of the problems with just seconds on their clock, and other times of fumbling under time pressure. Round 5 was terribly exciting. Terribly exciting. Just you gotta watch round 5. Best chess, and I've seen in most exciting chess, and since the Magnus Carlsen Jan Nepomniachtchi match. It's the most exciting chess I've seen since Game 6 of Magnus Carlsen versus Jan Nepomniachtchi. And it happened right here in San Jose, California. Right here. In fact, let me switch to a browser window. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to give a quick shout out to all the people that make this kind of thing happen. There's Mission 360 again. Eric Lee and Kevin Pan. Without them, this would not be happening. Terrific, terrific. All right, let's look at... next in line should be Bay Area Chess, probably. And Bay Area Chess, here we go. Transforming lives through chess. Northern California has a very busy calendar. If you want to come on a chess vacation, let me know. I'll help you get a cheap hotel room. And you can come play in a whole bunch of these tournaments. We just got a bunch of them, right? I mean, look at it all. It's just constantly. We've got a calendar. Other regions should be envious of us. So we got Mission 360 and Bay Area Chess. Let's throw in a Cal Chess, which is our USCF affiliate for Northern California. And we are dedicated to broadening and developing chess as art, recreation, as a significant element of culture in Northern California. And we've never had, a president that works as hard to do that as our current president, Tom Langland. He is the FIDE arbiter. This coming weekend, he's going to be running the Super States, National Tournament Director for USCF, plus being the FIDE arbiter for this. I mean, I don't know how he has the energy to do all this. Plus, I mean, he's got like a full-time job. Outside of chess. This guy is just incredible. Just incredible. And then let's look at the Eid Foundation. Eade Foundation. James Eade has given a nice donation to help offset the costs that these Kevin Pan, Eric Lee, and their families were absorbing to run these tournaments. So very, very kind of James Eade to give a nice donation. And beyond that, I mean, he's helping to build a chess school in Uganda. He's helped out in Nicaragua, Colombia, Niger, Zambia, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, Lebanon, and Bhutan. Crazy, crazy. He is such an awesome guy. And all the places he helps with, all the donations, it's pretty awesome because he absorbs the administrative cost. So there's no cost passed on. I mean, if you donate to the Eade Foundation, it goes to just giving chess equipment and resources to places like these. Awesome stuff. And then let me make sure everything. Yep. And then we'll go to dailychessmusings.com. I like it here. My motto is, this is my website, all those who want to learn chess are welcome here. That's my motto. If you want to learn about chess, you are welcome here. We've got so much happening. Just go explore the blog. Type in whoever your favorite chess player is into the search bar in the blog, and have at it. Thousands of free lessons are available 24/7 on dailychessmusings.com. And we're more than just a website, because we have the Daily Chess Musings YouTube channel. We have the Daily Chess Musing Twitch channel. And we've got the Daily Chess Musings Club on chess.com. More than a website, more than a blog, more than a YouTube channel, we are a community of like-minded chess enthusiasts doing awesome things together. Guess what? If you're following me on Twitch, if you're watching this right now, you're part of that community. It doesn't cost anything to join. All right. So check out the Daily Chess Musings Club on chess.com. Check out my website. All that good stuff. And let's see. Queen c4 was played. Wow, after a hard thought. And as I said, I think Leonid Udison knows something about this position. So right off the bat, I'm a little interested in perhaps queen f7, because it would pin the rook to the queen, right? Right off the bat, I'd be interested in that. Remember, black can't castle their kings on the dark square. It's moved already. If black can trade queens, they're in business. If black can't, white's going to get this bishop out, get this rook scooted over, or here. And there's going to be like a crushing attack, all up Paul Morphy, right? This is shaping up to be like a Paul Morphy type game. A game from a bygone era of romantic swashbuckling chess. By the way, I see that we have, a bunch of viewers right now. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And if you haven't followed officially yet, give us a follow. I work very hard to bring really cool content, and I would love to get up to 50. I'm growing this new Twitch channel. Love to get up to 50. You make little goals, you surpass those. As I said, that's the first step in becoming part of this community, this online chess community. Another thing you can do is say hi in the chat. I am watching the Twitch chat right now. Go ahead and say hi. Ask me a question if you like. It gets lonely on these broadcasts without some good conversation. Josiah Stearman and Maria Malika. Let's see where we were at. so okay, bishop takes, queen takes. Queen moves in front of the pawn. That certainly stops it from going any further up. Bishop takes, pawn takes. And then are we going to see rook f1, defending the pawn, defending that deep pass pawn. You can see that it's a good thing that her king is not on the light square right now, because otherwise, you know, things like this could be dangerous, because then if the pawn moves forward, the king gets checked, right? So used for a different purpose at the time, but still makes good sense. Rook e1 and bishop c3, maybe, or rook e1 and queen d5. And then if you're black, you got something cool you can do here. Look, Maria can put her bishop right in the way. So even if Josiah plays rook e1, Maria could put a bishop. Forms a nice wall. So the rook's no longer defending the passed pawn. Josiah loses this pawn. If this, you know, if he loses this pawn, the whole game changes drastically. It's more than a pawn. It is his advantage. Maria's ahead by a point in material, but Josiah's got this passed pawn deep in enemy territory. Let me put on the tournament slideshow so you can see what the players look like while we are enjoying their creations, the players' creations. This whole broadcast is just about sharing what's going on in Northern California. I edit the journal, the Cal Chess Journal. I'd be watching this anyways. It is my pleasure to share this with you. The players are the stars of the show, and especially Eric Lee because he's playing, and especially Josiah Stearman because he's playing, and they help organize these things. So those are the stars. So one of Gabor's knights is gone. One of those troubled knights. What happened? Did the bishop take the knight? All right, so we saw this, and then bishop did not take knight. Queen takes. Oh my goodness. Did was that just a simple tactic? Because then bishop takes f5, pawn takes, queen takes, right? So where... Let's back up just a little bit. Could f5 have been a mistake? Could f5 have been a mistake? It looks like pawn f5, and Gabor had set it up. It looks like it could have been a mistake, because now... Let's look at our material count. Or am I just hallucinating? No, we're even material. It wasn't a blunder of a piece at all, because right after the knight drops, right? It's a fancy trade. So ax b5 would be threatening the knight right away. So then black would need to play ax b5. And then white could play cx b5, thereby getting a passed pawn. I think that's what we're going to see. Ax b5 threatening the knight, ax b5 defending the knight, cx b5 getting a passed pawn. Seems to make sense. Again, my analysis in this round is not my best effort to date. It's So my mind is just a little fatigued. But you can imagine the players are feeling that even more. They are feeling that even more. Now I'm going to try and talk with some of the other broadcasters in the area and see if anybody else is planning on broadcasting tomorrow, because I still have not freed up my my day. Hmm. 31 minutes for Austin. Oh, Queen F7 was played. Okay, so Queen F7 was played. That was the move I was thinking. Because again, your goal is to try and trade the queens, right? And now Austin needs to play Bishop F4, threatening down there. And that gives him access to this rook on A1. And all of a sudden, we're getting much closer to this kind of Morphy finish. Can Austin May channel his inner Paul Morphy? Can he do it? Big time threat. How do you deal with that? Well, however it is that you would deal with that, should expect that Leonid Udison will find the best method. Again, he is a very experienced grandmaster. Never mind his rating being a little lower than it, because I mean, you aren't going to find a grandmaster who's been playing for 30 years as a grand. I mean this guy, um, incredible, living legend, Leonid Udison. We are so privileged to have him visiting the San Francisco Bay Area. It's an absolute privilege. And it's another reason why I'm giving this game a little bit more attention in this broadcast, because we don't see Leonid's games on Friday nights and Saturdays because of the Shabbat. This is interesting. This just harkens back to a different kind of chess. Man, Sunday night we were rocking with that round 5. We had like 1,100 live viewers watching just such extreme chess drama taking place on the boards. It was amazing. Let's circle around here, see what else is happening. I believe all games from this round are still in progress. Here's Maria Malika versus Josiah Stearman. Still in progress. Maria's getting very low on time against Josiah. This is a tough. Josiah's got some things to write home about. He got control of the center and has just busted his A-pawn straight down the middle, creating a pass pawn and some good potential. I had been previously predicting that Maria might put her bishop here as an interference of the defense of the dangerous pawn. So that, I'm sticking with it. That is my prediction. I suppose, you're going to drop this, though. But it's worth it to get rid of that pawn on e6, in my opinion. But Maria's getting dangerously low on time. She does not get any extra time at move 40. There is no extra time control in this tournament. Interesting stuff. Yeah, Akiba Rubinstein. We were looking at that other thing. A game with Leonid Udison. Using the Rubinstein. Now, the Grunfeld defense, like I said, has become very popular with the young people today. It's having a surge in popularity is what I've noticed. It's definitely, is part of that hyper-modern school of chess where you're trying to control the center from a distance. And it was pioneered by a guy named Ernst Grunfeld. And Ernst Grunfeld was he was kind of, it's named after him, but I think the famous game might have been against Alexander Alyakin. A lot of people call him Alekhine, but I found out that his name is actually pronounced Alyakin. I believe Ernst Grunfeld beat Alyakin, and then the Grunfeld defense that he used became named after him. I believe that's how it happened. I mean, a lot of great chess players have played the Grunfeld, including Garry Kasparov against Karpov quite regularly. So if you want to see the Grunfeld in action, you might go look up that Ernst Grunfeld versus Alyakin, and then maybe go and look at the Kasparov versus Karpov games. That's your homework. No, she plays d5. Not what I was expecting. I was expecting my prediction again a moment ago, and maybe I'm just reading this really wrong, but my prediction was trying to interfere with the defense so you can try and get this. That's what I was predicting. She plays d5, so now she can't do that. Obviously, it is no longer an option. But now black's got some pawns going down the board that white needs to be a little bit concerned with, because they're going to be stepping onto dark squares where they get support from a faraway friend. Let's take a look at another board. Ming Lu versus Gabor Nagy. And I don't know if you see that on your screen, but the little bar on the side is going crazy for white. Going crazy for white. And why is that? Maybe it has something to do with knight takes e4 followed by knight g5. Yep. I'm guessing that's why. I'm guessing that's why indeed. Let's see what's happening here. What is going on? So b5 was played, and that does not look like an accurate move, because ax b5, as I said, attacking the knight, and then ax b5 is pretty much forced. Cx b5, but he plays b3 instead. See, I was predicting cx b5 creating a passed pawn, but he's just kind of locking this up for the moment, because he is threatening other things that we're going to see in a moment. So then queen b7. Now this yeah, and then the rook switching files, very nice. So if pawn takes, knight can take, oops, pawn takes, right? But knight could take, pawn could take, and then your rook's threatening the queen. So that's good. Putting a rook in the same file as your opponent's queen. How many times have I recommended that during my videos? Plenty, let me tell you. So the queen steps to the side, but now it's a disaster. Knight takes e4, then knight to g5. It's a disaster. This is very, very bad. So if knight takes e4, black can do anything. And then knight g5, and then even if black plays h6, your knight can go. Yep, there it is. Then your knight can get up here. Mega disaster. Mega disaster. I believe Ming Lu is going to beat Gabor Nagy. I believe so. In a most unusual, I just never liked Gabor's opening in this game. I just never liked it. Just his knight gets out on the rim. Now the other knight's on the rim. His bishop's blocked in. His other bishop's still at home. It's like he gets all these problems out of the opening and never solve them. So just back to the drawing board. This happens in chess, and even apparently to grandmasters. So we'll keep it here for a little bit. Well, maybe we won't, because there's some action. We are waiting for Leonid Udison. Bishop f4 was played. Leonid's trying to figure out, do you play knight c6 or do you play pawn to c6? This is what Leonid's looking at really hard right now. Pawn c6. All right, so I trust Leonid. Like I said, these are the types of things he will get right almost 100% of the time. Just too much experience at high level. And while why I think things are going to get really exciting really fast, so I'm going to take a quick break. Take care of some things I need to take care of, and I will be right back to watch the conclusion of round 7. See you in 5 minutes or so. I will be running a free online chess club for everyone who wants to learn. To further this idea, I published a mission statement for Daily Chess Musings that reads, "All those who want to learn chess are welcome here." Our free weekly chess club begins with a live meeting Wednesday at 3:00 p.m. Pacific Time. Remember, you do not need to attend the weekly meetings when they are live to participate, and all students have an entire week to complete their suggested lessons. In this way, the Daily Chess Musings free weekly chess club is 100% flexible to your needs and schedule. New instructions and assignments will be given every Wednesday. If you have to miss a week, no worries. I will make all of the videos and assignments freely available on dailychessmusings.com so you can catch up when it's convenient. Special prizes will also be awarded for top performers in different categories. Plus, we will hold regular tournaments on Fridays and Saturdays, along with special events including scheduled matches between groups, simul's, group chess, and blitz games against me, Coach Chris. So what's the catch? There isn't one. I just want to give everybody the same opportunity to benefit from chess that I had as a child. For over 20 years, I have paved the way for the success of thousands of children regardless of their entry-level skill. By training with me, you will gain the valuable tools and skills needed to excel as a chess player. An extraordinary chess club experience with a top-tier instructor, the confidence and motivation necessary to surpass your chess goals and fast-track improvement.
Hey everybody, Shelby from American Chess Equipment. That's www.amchesseq.com. We're the official chess supplier of Daily Chess Musings. Now, if you're a tournament chess player or just need some for the home, check out our new clocks here. This is our Bobby Fischer chess clock made by DGT. It's the DGT North American, just with different colors and way better instructions. Now, if you really want a high-end chess clock, your kid wants a Chronos, but they're hard to find, or Chronoses are impossible to use. What you really want is you want the VTech. The VTech is something designed by me, Shelby Lorman, for the tournament chess player. It's easy enough for people my age, I'm in my 40s, to use. You don't have to hand it off to an 8-year-old to get set. If you want something really cool, we can do customization for you. We can customize clocks, we can customize boards, we can customize scorebooks. If your kid has a habit of losing stuff and you're sick of replacing chess equipment, check out our items here. Now, if your kid has a habit of losing his chess clock, this is something that we can do for you that nobody else can. Looks like a normal, everyday, high-end chess clock, right? Now, let's flip this around. You can see it's got my face on it and everything else. This is a vinyl ink that's very hard to come off. So even if your kid loses it, nobody's going to be able to keep it. Something really nice for the house, you gotta check out our wood sets and boards right here. Now, if you want something nice for the house, I'd recommend something like this. This is our 20-inch pedestal board with our Zagreb set. Let me get this set up for you. Are we the end-all be-all for chess equipment? Maybe not. But we support Scholastic Chess, especially here in Southern California. And if there's anything you need, even if I don't sell it, I can help you find wherever you need to go. So, remember, American Chess Equipment, www.amchesseq.com for all your chess needs.
Hi, I am James Eade of the Eade Foundation. Who am I and what is the Eade Foundation? That's the subject of this video today. I am a chess player from way back when I was in high school. I would win adult tournaments as well as high school scholastic type of tournaments. I got very good. I could even challenge grandmasters and I could fight them. But I wasn't really as good as most of them. So I started to do other things. I would write chess books, for example. I wrote countless articles, 5 total chess books. And I did a lot of other things like organizing international master tournaments, grandmaster tournaments, various tournaments of various types, FIDE futurities, that sort of thing. And I did a lot of chess. And in 2018, the United States Chess Federation gave me the Outstanding Career Achievement Award. So that's a little bit about me. But what about the Eade Foundation? What's the Eade Foundation? The Eade Foundation was started to help build communities through chess. Chess is what I did. Chess is what I knew. This is the way I could help other people. And by sharing what I had, the resources that I had with those who did not have those resources, I felt that I could make a contribution to society, however incremental it was. It was a contribution. And so I found that this was pretty successful. And it was successful because I would get things like this. These are children in Uganda. These are orphans in Uganda sending me a happy birthday message. And I would get, the Divine Chess Academy was one example. They had to make boards out of the paper. And so I could send them real sets and boards so they could have resources to play. I helped in Zambia, South Africa, and other places. And this is what the EAT Foundation does. We help seniors too. Senior centers can start up and hold, because if we know that if they hold chess tournaments or chess clubs and start them, people keep their minds active. And even though it may not prevent something, a devastating thing like dementia or Alzheimer's, it can delay the onset of symptoms. So this is part of what the EAT Foundation does. The EAT Foundation also has the Arthur Award. The Arthur Award is given for chess excellence. Someone writes an essay every year, and this year's winner was Alexi Root from the University of Texas at Dallas. So these are some of the things that the EAT Foundation does. Help players, regardless of what language you speak, regardless of what country you're from, become part of the chess community. And if you're part of the community, you're never alone. So visit us for more videos on the Chess Files, Fridays, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And I hope to see you then, because until then, let's stay connected, be part of a community.
Can you move your knight? Ding, ding, dong. Good job! High five!
The game of chess is a beautiful game because you get to be the king. You get to command an entire army of chess figures. You are in charge. In life, you may not get to make all the decisions yet. In chess, you get to make all the decisions. Greetings, chess players! I am back. My name is Chris Torres. This is Daily Chess Musings. And we are watching Round 7 action from the second Mission 360 Bay Area GMIM Invitational Chess Tournament in San Jose, California. What does all this mean? All those words? It means it is top-notch chess. Top notch. We're seeing grandmasters and international masters, FIDE masters, and they are fighting. I think the chess is far more enjoyable than if it was just all grandmasters. The reason is the FIDE masters, I was looking for my thing of Tic Tacs. The FIDE masters and the international masters are creating beautiful complexities and playing dangerous chess because they have to win if they want to get those norms to get those titles. So we are seeing some fantastically exciting chess. Let us see where we are. We are looking at Austin May versus Leonid Udison. And let me show you the whole game. It was just catch you up real fast. I really like this game. This is my favorite game of the round. So we've got ourselves a French defense and now the Rubinstein variation, named after Kiba Rubinstein, a player that I'm quite fond of. And then this knight bounces up there. Third move for the knight. attacking all these targets. It takes one, gets pinned to the king. King steps out of the way, takes back, but then check. Black's king is exposed, can't castle. Rooks are going to not get unified. Rook goes in the same file as queen. Queen steps out. Pawn scoots forward. Now, queen can take, because if pawn takes, then rook says checkmate. So pawn doesn't take. Pawn doesn't take because rook would go to e8, checkmate. Instead, knight goes to e7, forking the two pieces. I expected queen takes b7, but Austin played rook takes e6, and I think it's a fantastic move, but very complicated. Because right here, look what happens. Hang on. Yeah, right here, you can't just trade queen for queen. You can't just play rook takes queen, knight takes queen, because Leon is ahead by 2 in material and his king's exposed. That's your only advantage. So you got to keep the force on the board. And as it turns out, I agree with Austin. I think queen c4 is like the only move. Then queen f7, trying to trade. And then bishop f4, trying to deliver a check on c7. c6 stops that. And now both rooks are activated. Black's pieces are very disorganized, so the knight steps in the way of the queen. Bishop falls back to g3 because you don't want to trade again. And this is where we're at. This is where we are at currently. And this is like chess from the 19th century. This is exciting, swashbuckling chess. One side's ahead by 2 points. The other side has dangerous compensation in force, time and force. So it reminds me of Paul Morphy style chess. And it's happening right now, San Jose, California. Let's go to our next board. And I'm going to turn on the tournament slideshow so you can see what the players look like. Next board. Oh, never mind. Bishop c5 was played. Okay, so now black is getting closer to activating all of his pieces. Then if he can trade down, he's going to be okay. And it's very serious. It's very serious because, like, rook e8 would be forcing some trades, right? I mean, it's a very serious matter for Austin right now. All his pieces are in the game. So we just need the best attacking move. That's all. What's the best attacking move for white? Anybody see? Go ahead, let me know if you do. Look at all your checks, captures, and threats. We do have one intriguing check out here on h4. We have 2 checks. Now, I don't like using the bishop because the bishop is guarding the escape on c7. Whereas the queen right now isn't doing much. Normally, I would prefer to use a $3 piece to deliver this check rather than a queen, but since the queen's not really doing much, queen h4 check, then what happens? Does the bishop have to interpose? Bishop e7? Yeah. Seems, I don't know that you're getting there. This is tough. White is so close. This is where Paul Morphy would shine, right? Everybody sees that white has a buildup of overwhelming, almost overwhelming force. But what is the perfect attacking combination to use? Easy to understand once you've already seen it. Hard to duplicate. What do we got going here? Eric Lee and Vyam Vidyarthi. So it looks like... What happened here? Let's go back a little bit. All right, so we were thinking about an exchange of knights possibility. Knight returns to f3. White's trying to get e5 played. Black says, let's trade queens. Bishop attacks knight. Knight goes into no man's land by itself. Not a lot of squares to come out to. So knight d2 guards c4. This knight is in danger of getting trapped, except bishop a6 now attacks it again. And White's got 3 pawn islands since we last checked in, right? Their pawns are separated into 3 parts. We don't like that. So some serious pawn weaknesses. Big time trouble. Bishop goes to b3, defending again. This looks almost trapped, but knight d3. See, when you put your bishop there, it allows knight d3. That's why I wasn't suggesting it. And knight d3 would be forking the rook and bishop. So this is a fight between 2 young guys in the Bay Area. 2 young guys in the South Bay. Again, the players are not getting bonus time. There's no extra time control. All this takes place in 90 minutes with 30-second increments. Very simple to understand. Almost as simple as it should be finding my Tic Tacs, but yet I cannot locate my Tic Tacs. That's a shame. Tic Tacs are important when you're doing a lot of talking. Keeps your throat from getting irritated. And they're so small, you can like literally talk with them in your mouth without your pronunciation and enunciation being disturbed too much. Uncle Kev Dog is home from work. Now he can focus on chess. Awesome. You do that. You focus on some chess. Uncle Kev Dog, you are about to see some really exciting stuff, by the way. Okay, so knight d3 was played. You came back right at the right time. Uncle Kev Dog, Austin May. Let's get to the... yeah, here we are. Austin May is trying to summon the spirit of Paul Morphy. Conjure a little bit of Paul Morphy magic against Leonid Udison. It's just an absolutely fantastic game. But he needs that magical combination. Otherwise, what happens too many times is you have a lot of steam in your attack, and then you run out of gas. It's a real bummer to get this close and have that happen. All right, so the rook goes to f1. This knight is now found a good location. Let's see if black can employ his other rook, and then we really start to like black's position. All games are still alive. No draws. Here's the Austin May versus Leonid Udison. Here is the Ming Lu versus Gabor Nagy. And this one's going to finish shortly. This is getting... Ming Lu is getting just a fantastic... Alright, so that gives the defense against the checkmate, right? Is that good enough? I don't think so. And remember that in addition to the attack he's got right now, Ming Lu is up by 2 points of material. But he's got only 7 minutes. Remember, no extra time will be added. So this is serious. This is serious. Pawn to c6 it is. Protected pass pawn, which could be a platform for rook b7 even, right? It could be a platform for that as well. If black's not careful, that'll be decisive. If I was Gabor right now, I'd be swinging this rook back over that way, just to make sure it's not cut off from what it needs to defend. Very serious stuff. Very, very. Again, my name is Chris Torres. This is Daily Chess Musings. We are watching live tournament action, top-notch tournament action from San Jose, California, in the form of the Mission 360 Bay Area Chess GMIM Norm Tournament number 2, round 7. We're watching. Anybody who doesn't have the Grandmaster title is playing with reckless abandon, trying to get wins. It's all about winning if you want to get those norms. You aren't going to do it by drawing. And at this level, it is hard. It is really hard, as it should be. We don't call them Grandmasters for nothing. So I really like Ming Lu's position here. Josiah Stearman has got Maria Malika in trouble on the board and on the clock. This pawn is getting really close now, and it's got support. Got support for a push. But can't quite do it just yet. Can't quite do it just yet. Let's see how we got here from where we were last. Okay, so we were, yep, a3, platform for bishop b4 if need be, but nope, it just distracts the queen out there, and then bishop comes in threatening d8. Rook moves, and now maybe bishop f6, threatening a checkmate there on g7. If bishop takes f6, then queen takes f6 with check. Then we are looking at Michael Lee versus David Berkes. Michael Lee versus David Berkes. And let's check in. b5. Okay, so undermining the defense of the center pawn. Willing to give. It's a good trade for black there. And yeah, now that white doesn't have a center pawn anymore, I'm really starting to like black's position. Although doubled pawns, buried bishop. Other than that, it's pretty good. Yeah, both sides have some concerns. Both sides certainly have some concerns. A lot of chess left to be played. This looks like a game from last night, or this morning, or whenever. I remember that. Okay, so we're expecting bishop f6. Let me draw some arrows so I remember where I was. Rook went to g7, and then rook goes to b7. There's a lot of pressure building up around the black king. You don't have to be a grandmaster to understand that. All right, so trading away some of the pressure, but that means that white is going to get a pawn just one step away. And also is threatening checkmate. Oh no. Yeah, threatening checkmate and got a pawn just one step away. You would not want to be black in this kind of situation. So you got to stop checkmate. That stops checkmate. White's going to take back with their bishop. As is usually the case with the excitement of this event, I'm getting my second, third, fourth wind. It's like running a marathon. Stuff's getting exciting. My brain re-engages. I was having some difficulty there for a little bit. Just pure exhaustion. And I'm sure the players are feeling some of this too. All right, so get a rook behind the pass pawn. Really threaten it. Really threaten it. Yep, looks like just a couple more moves maybe. Just a couple more moves. I think rook b1 and this is resignable. I don't see how you're gonna stop this. Rook b8 doesn't work. Queen takes b7, I mean, yeah. I think we're going to have our first result from round 7 momentarily. Bishop f6 first. I was expecting rook b8. Now queen g5 check. Almost assuredly. Maybe queen g4. I mean, it's all the same. You get your queen to check here. And then on the next move, your queen's going to go to g7. Ming Lu about to defeat a Grand Master. We'll keep it right here for this historic moment. The queen's going to check from the g file. There's the check. Now queen g7. King e6. And I don't even believe Ming Lu. It doesn't show a title. I don't think he even has a FIDE title yet. So this is something. 16 years old. Gonna beat a grandmaster. A dream come true for a lot of people, but not Gabor Nagy. Is Gabor Nagy going to go all the way through to checkmate? You think? Is he going to let Ming Lu checkmate him? Maybe. It's not so cut and dry. I can't see the best way. I mean, clearly White's going to win. But is it g4 or is it a discovered check by moving the bishop out of the way? It's not so simple to... and he's got 7 minutes, so... A win is a win. If he doesn't play the most accurate line, it's still a win. Is there any way this can go terribly wrong? Yes, there is. There's a way. Knight f3 check is that way. Forces the king onto a light square, and then the knight moves out of the way with another check. That could be very bad. So right now, Ming Lu needs to stop knight f3, because otherwise, yeah, bad things are going to happen. This could go very awry if he does not use good technique. And he's down to 6 minutes. There's a check. Okay. And now the queen is helping to guard f3, but that, this threat is still present. Okay, with the king blocking the queen for a moment, the big dangerous trouble does not exist. So he gets the king to move in front of the path of the queen, and now gets a second queen. As Gabor Nagy, he resigns here. Okay, he resigns. But he had a trick. He did have a trick. Way late in the game, as we might, grandmasters are excellent at being tricky. If it was black to move here, knight f3, and yeah, the king has to move to a light square, and then knight h4, and then queen g2 checkmate kind of thing. Yeah, it was not over by a long shot. Yeah, blunders always find a way, and it's not just you, Uncle Kevdog. Yeah, happens to the best of us. Congratulations, Ming Lu, and to your father as well. All right. Austin May and Leonid Udison. All right, let's rewind just a little bit. So, all right, so we saw this really cool. Just starts off as a French, and then Leonid plays the Rubinstein variation, this double bishop move. And then Austin May moves his knight for a third time and is targeting all these juicy squares there. Boom, beautiful move. You don't want to take straight away with the pawn because, yeah, you'll expose yourself to check, so you pin the knight to the king. Castle, take, check. King's got to move. Black's king is exposed. It's hard to get, the rooks aren't going to get unified. I mean, black's got a ton of trouble. Good start after. Excellent move. If pawn takes, then it's checkmate. then it's a checkmate. If bishop takes, then his queen takes. Oops. Then his queen takes. Then his queen takes. Then if pawn takes, then it's a checkmate. Pretty stuff. Right, Kev Dog? You like that? I like it. That's pretty stuff. So there's the pseudo queen sacrifice. If you take the bait, you get checkmated. He does not take the bait. He forks. I was expecting queen b7 here. But instead, rook takes e6. Very aggressive. Because it sets up this situation where you can't play rook takes and knight takes and expect to have anything but a loss because your opponent is ahead in material. And there's just too many different ways. Too many different ways for these trades to happen. For example, God, I'm having problems with my arrows. Criminy. I think my mouse is dying probably. New battery time maybe. So there's the knight, rook takes, knight takes way. For example, if queen goes back to b3, then there's knight c5. Another way to force trade. Forks the queen and rook, forcing rook takes queen. And then you got to defend the rook somehow, right? Otherwise, queen just takes the rook. If you go here, then queen's just going to take you. That's a trade. And so, as it turns out, after rook takes e6 and queen takes g6, I think he played right here, queen c4. But maybe, see, right about here, instead of rook takes e6, maybe queen takes b7 is a better move. Remains to be seen. We'll have to really analyze this. This is fun. So bishop f4, threatening. Threatening good stuff, right? So Leonid stops that. Rooks get organized now. Bishop has to go back to avoid trade. And this, I think, may have been another miscalculation. I think you play queen h4, and then they have to interpose with queen e1. I'm sorry, bishop e7. Oh, what the heck am I saying? Queen h4 and then bishop e7. My mind is fried. Fried, I tell you. So queen b3, threatening b7, but king c8 defending. Queen goes out to a4. And now knight drops back. Rook takes. Pawn takes. Queen takes. Trying for the Morphe magic. Trying for the Morphe magic. Wow. Wow, this is some kind of chess, I tell you. A sack of a rook now, too? My goodness. Wow. Austin May. I am impressed. Austin May, I'm a fan. I am a fan. This is incredible. This is like an opera house. This is Morphe, swashbuckling, attacking. Goodness. Goodness. Now your queen's under attack. Black's still ahead by 2. So again, you don't want to try any weirdo trade of queens, even if it means you get a rook to the 7, because your opponent's ahead by 2 points of material. You got 6 minutes. Leonid's got 30. Yeah, isn't it beautiful? It really is. This game, I mean, we've seen a lot of quick draws from Leonid, and this harkens to a bygone era of romantic chess from the 1800s. And there's just so many complexities being worked out over the board in real time, and they're doing it with high accuracy. So you like your queen in this file with the king for obvious reasons. I didn't see the rook takes c6 sacrifice coming. Black's king is just very exposed. His rooks are still not unified. So they're still disorganized. The king's still very exposed. But Austin is now down to 5 minutes. So usually the attacking player gains some time, because it's harder a lot of times to defend accurately than attack. It just is. And this is interesting because here the attacking player, all right, so queen c3, keeping in the same file. But now rook to e7 is no longer a possibility, but knight to e5 is. So keep your eye. This knight can start charging ahead. Black wants to trade pieces. So Leonid may, in fact, play rook e8. Every trade helps him get closer. And I thought Austin May's attack was running out of steam. He still has 4 pieces left. We know from Paul Morphy, all you need is like a bishop and a rook, right? So he's just got to keep up the pressure, avoid unnecessary trades of pieces. Sounds simple, hard to do. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Got to have Austin May on the show now, too. Eric Lee, Vyam Vidyarthi. Eric Lee is very low on time, 3:33, so we got to keep our eye on this. Keep our eye on this one. I mean, he's got some pawn weaknesses, but I think the bigger problem right now is the time weaknesses. Eric's a good player. He can deal with pawn weaknesses. These time weaknesses, that's tough. Ming Lu defeated Gabor Nagy. Congratulations again. Josiah Stearman and Maria Malika. She's down to 3 minutes. We saw beautiful chess from her in round 5. But Josiah's got her on the ropes here. He really, really does. This appears to be just sitting there for the taking. And Josiah takes it. She's down to 3 minutes. A lot of games are going to be finishing very soon. In the next half hour, David Berkses and Michael Lee agree to a draw. Wow. Okay, David Berkses, I thought Michael Lee got a much better position out of the opening. I'll have to give this some more detail look, but David Berkses is really more than equalized, and the draw is agreed. Okay, it's a good result for Michael Lee, drawing against a grandmaster. So 2 games are done. Lots of drama here in Josiah Stearman versus Maria Malika. This is all happening live in San Jose, California. Right now on Concourse Drive at the Bay Area Chess Headquarters. These players are sitting across the table from each other. Maria's getting very low on time. Very, very low on time indeed. "48 seconds. What's the best move for black? Whatever it is, you got to make a good move fast. You're in a lot of trouble. The Grunfeld is here. It went awry. But you got to make a move. Otherwise, you just lose. We are even material exactly, but the position that material is in is way different. For example, white could play rook a7 here, and then the threats are checkmate on. Okay, so one of those squares is defended. So rook a7, then rook a. But then this pawn. Yep. Okay. Yep. So rook a7 we're predicting. I don't see a way to stop the checkmate and stop the pawn. Josiah has played a beautiful. Oh, wait. What's defending this rook? Hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. So there's no perpetual check. Okay. So that's first thing. So if rook takes a7 and queen takes e1, that is a check. King goes to h2, but there's no check here because the queen's guarding it. And white is threatening checkmate on two squares. Black can't handle both. So that is what is guarding the rook. Right now, the queen is guarding one of the two checkmate squares on g7. Black's queen is. There it is, rook a7. Maria is staring a loss in the okay, and then king goes to h2, and she can only guard one of two squares, right? It's game over. Either queen g7 or queen h7. Game over. If you come to play chess in the Bay Area, you may run into a Josiah Stearman. That is one tough opponent. One tough opponent. All right, so she stops. She's, she is just a never give up player. Let's see what Josiah picks here. Many paths to victory. Queen f4. Nice and clean. And that is it. Josiah Stearman gets a nice win over Maria Malika, who just in round 5 defeated Grandmaster. She's been having a great tournament. But Josiah Stearman stopped her here in round 7. Let us see what else is happening. We saw Ming Lu beat Gabor Nagy. And now Austin and Eric are still playing. So we've got Eric Lee versus Vyam Vidyarthi. Still going. I predicted very early that this game would last a long time, probably be the last game because of the very closed center. The opening choice meant this is going to be a long battle. Look at Eric Lee's time. You hate to see something decided by the clock, but I think he's under just tremendous pressure. And let's see what has Austin May come up with. All right, so He brought some life back into the attack with rook takes c6. Another sacrifice. Just amazing. Amazing attacking chess. I love it. I love it. It's so exciting. Um, all right, so queen's in the 7th, attacking, yeah. Rook moves up. This rook has finally entered the game. That rook on a8. See, look here. We are 26 moves in, and black never had a chance to get it in until now. Gets it in, and that is key. That is key for Leonid. Now he's got all his pieces in the game. And he's got a huge time advantage on his opponent. Certainly trading seems like a good thing to try. No way that Austin's going to trade with him, but it's a good thing. It's worth trying. And it's worth noting that even though now Leonid has an extra piece on the board, look at the pawns. 3 on 1 and 3 on 1. So it could be actually a trade of queens might occur. Again, though, Austin's very low on time. We're going to get to somebody even with less time than Austin. And that is, let me double check that all the other games have finished. Yes, they have. All right. So we got, again, Michael Lee draw with David Berkses. Josiah Stearman over Maria Malika. Ming Lu over Gabor Nagy. Austin May trying against Leonid Udison. Tough round to be a grandmaster, that's for sure. And Eric Lee versus Vyam Vidyarthi. Tournament organizer Eric Lee. Fighting against the clock and a very worthy opponent from the same region. These guys live within, I don't know the specifics, but definitely within an hour of each other. They're both from the Northern California Bay Area region, so amazing. This is the kind of chess that is happening in this area. Rook in the 7th rank. King's already advanced. Still, though, it is good. White has to defend a pawn. A rook in the 7th rank attacks all the pawns that haven't moved, which happens to be the base of pawn chains, the weak points. So, I think you're going to be cycling around your knight. Get the knight back into the game. Your rook is perfectly placed. It's gluing this. White's going to attack it though. Right off the bat, I have to look at this. Yeah, that's annoying. The king can push that rook around a little bit, but only so far, right? Because he can't do it again without losing this knight. So I think Vyam Vidyarthi has rook g2. That's interesting. He plays rook g2. I was thinking, you get your knight. Ah. Is this this is a zugzwang. A zugzwang. Any move that white makes is a losing move. Any move that white makes is a losing move. So Eric is obligated to make a move. And any move he makes is not good. He does not have a good move. He will be placed at a big disadvantage for making this move. And he's obligated to do so. This is known as Zugzwang. Zugzwang. He's been zugzwanged, and he has like 40-something seconds left on the clock. That is why Vyam Vidyarthi did not move his knight from a5 and placed his rook on g2. All right. So by doing that, wait a second. It's not. Oh, did I speak too prematurely about Zugzwang? Dang it! I got so excited about the possibility of Zugzwang that I forgot about the one king e3 move. It's very close to Zugzwang. We may still see a Zugzwang. I got so excited. I called a fake Zugzwang. And then he moves. Yeah, oh, I mean, it could still be Zugzwang, you know, even with the knight over there. But I was really hoping for a more clear, defined example of Zugzwang to show some students this week. Oh, I'm so disappointed now. I dreamt something. I hallucinated it on the board. Yeah, king e3. See, getting back a couple moves. Let's look. When we were right here, let's say, for example, this king cannot go to e3. It was very close to a Zugzwang. Silly Coach Tortoise, getting all excited. I even spouted off the definition. I got to use the one of the coolest German words in my vocabulary, and I misspoke. So disappointing. Eric's got 50 seconds. His opponent has 32 minutes. This game is over. This game is over. This game is over. This game, draw. This game, over. That was earlier this morning. So draw between Michael Lee, David Berkses. Win for Josiah over Maria. Very nice win for Ming Lu over Gabor Nagy. Congratulations again, young man. And draw for Austin May versus Leonid Udison. They agree to a draw. Okay, so he did everything he could. Do you want to trade queens? No, no thank you. Do you want to trade queens? No, no thank you. Draw. Okay. Beautiful, fun. You know, some draws are better than others. This was the best draw of the tournament. The best draw of the tournament. I give you that award. Austin May and Leonid Unison. Best draw of the tournament. Just because something's a draw doesn't mean it wasn't beautiful while it lasted. So we are on the last game of the evening. Which is good, because this was not my strongest of my broadcasts, for sure. I am feeling fatigued from all the chess. I need to recharge my mind. Probably play some guitar this evening. That would be a good thing. Go for a walk. Oops, gotta be careful not to say that too loud around my dog. She knows the word. She knows that word. She knows excursion. She even knows promenade. I have a whole bunch of other synonyms that I have to use. Stroll, she knows that one. Oh yeah, I think I've switched to constitutional. I think that's the new word that my dog does not know yet. For yeah. Some, maybe one of these times when I get up to 1,000 something viewers again, I'll introduce Lola. Seemed like a worthwhile thing to do. She's usually somewhere nearby, keeping an eye on me. This round went a little faster than the other rounds. We were only 3 hours into the broadcast. So knight c1 or knight a1 or knight d2. But you got 20 seconds to figure it out. Tough. Not a very nice thing to do to the tournament organizer, but all is fair in, well, all fair is well in chess, I should say. Here's my quote for the evening. If all is fair in love and war, then we must say that all fair play is well in chess. As long as the games are played fairly, yeah, it's all part of the game. All these philosophical moments and miscalling Zugzwings. These are all things my private students are quite used to in my lessons. So a4 is going to fall, and then that's going to be a huge problem. Outside pass pawn. Outside pass pawn. Put it back on the regular camera for a bit. That's what I do if I'm most of the time. But when I'm doing a big tournament, I like to put on a slideshow so you guys see what the players look like. I think it's kind of nice. It's a nice touch, but it's good to know that, hey, there is a live person sitting there. Just like you are right now. Thanks for hanging out so much with us tonight, Uncle Kev Dog. I appreciate it. Shout out to Uncle Kev Dog. I got 14 viewers right now. I wish if 6 of you aren't official followers yet, go ahead and do that, please. We're finishing up like 8 or 9 hours of chess broadcasting today, and it would be a nice little reward to know, hey, I got 50 followers at least. A little bit of something I can brag about. I'm one of those lucky guys whose family understands what I do. They've seen so many appreciative students and fans over the years that I'm very lucky that my family understands the importance of what I do. A lot of chess, I imagine a lot of chess streamers show up to like family get-togethers, and maybe somebody in their family says, "Hey, what you been up to?" It's like, "Oh, I'm a chess streamer," and then the eye rolls or the what? I didn't even know. Can you make any money doing that? Or seems like a waste of time, or stuff like that. No, my family is very supportive. So shout out to a wonderful family. I don't know what my schedule is tomorrow. I may join you for a round tomorrow. I'm gonna talk to some other people and see if somebody else wants to have all the attention and fun of being like an official broadcaster for this event. Because I do have a lot of private students that and it's hard to broadcast and do the private students. And then this coming weekend, I've got the Super State, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go analyze like 50 games a day for. It's gonna be a few hundred young people at the Santa Clara Convention Center. Gonna be wearing masks and Purelling and being very safe, of course, but analyzing lots of games, interacting with the next generation. Very important. If you know, it's one of the things. If you enjoy chess, then you got to share it with someone younger than you. That's how the continuity happens. Eric's got to make a move, and he does. He gets it down to 1 second, makes the best move he can. That outside pass pawn on a7 is a big problem. A big, big problem. Having 31 seconds to deal with a big problem, that is also a problem. The young Vidyarthi is playing rather quickly. You always got to be careful when you're trying to rush somebody who's low on time that you aren't playing inaccurately yourself by doing that. Eric Lee is going to win some and lose some just because he plays, again, these guys are playing for wins. They aren't playing not to lose. It's a big difference in this style of tournament. He's already got the rating for the International Master. See this? He's already got the his rating's over 2,400. He just needs the norms. Can you imagine being 14 and 2,400? Wow. Tell you what, though. Okay, so this is going to be a king and pawn ending and a losing one at that because of these pass pawns, but we'll learn a little bit about king and pawn endings. Black needs to... so all these pawns over here counteract each other, so you don't need to do anything over here. What you got to do is get your king over to help support your... The action's going to be over in the A and B files, right? This pawn on c3 and this king are the last defenses that white has. So the black king wants to get out there, get opposition, push white's king out of the way, and lead the charge. Very basic stuff for these players. Even players, you know, much lower. But these guys in particular, yeah, they've known how to do this stuff since they were like first grade. In fact, I do some training on king and pawn endings. First, I do like a queen in against all pawns. So one queen, one black queen versus 8 white pawns, and all the white pawn has to do is get across. Even if it's taken on the very next move, the pigs win. I call it Farmer and the Pigs. It's a famous chess minigame. It is so much fun. So the black side has a queen, white side has 8 pigs. There are no kings on the board. And the students learn about the importance of keeping pawns grouped together. Not trying to have a pig try and bust across. Can't win against a queen by itself. And then if you're the farmer, always attacking two things at once. And where to place a queen. Sometimes it's best as a bishop. It could stop all the pawns from moving. Sometimes it's best as a rook behind a passed pawn. I mean, or blockading, right? All these ideas can be learned in Farmer and the Pigs. Then I'll do like some 3 pawns on one side versus 2 on the other, and vice versa, with king and pawns in some roughly equal situations. So king and 5 pawns versus king and 5 pawns in a roughly equal situation, and have the kids work through these. And again, I do all this training when they're little, so that by the time they are old enough to be playing in adult tournaments and whatnot, they've got it down. And here's the opposition and the pushback. Yeah, this is just exactly what I would see in a classroom environment, doing an exercise like this from kindergarten, first graders, talented kindergartners, but most of my first grade students. It's how we do stuff. You're very welcome, Uncle Kev Dog. I'm really enjoying hosting this event. But yeah, starting with endgame, and okay, so there it goes. Vyam Vidyarthi has been victorious over Eric Lee. Another thrilling, exciting round of top-notch chess from San Jose, California. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Let me give one more shout out to the... Oh, man. Chris, are you losing your mind? Are you? That's not right. That's screen share. Where's the browser? I thought that's not right. I'm losing my mind right at the very end. Wow. Okay. What am I doing? There's the... It's called board. What? There it is. Okay, web browser window. Super. These are some of the windows that I use for various reasons during my broadcast. I was losing my mind right at the end. I'm tired. Mission 360, started by Kevin Pan and Eric Lee. We just saw Eric Lee finish up there. Bay Area Chess, the best chess affiliate, maybe in the country. Cal Chess, Northern California's official U.S. Chess Federation governing body. And our president, Tom Langland. Of all the Toms in chess, well, I don't even know where I'm going with that one. But the guy is very busy, hardest working guy in chess. The Eid Foundation. Go check out eidfoundation.org. He gave a nice donation to this tournament to help recover costs. There's a lot of costs, as you might imagine, with hosting players from foreign countries. And none of this would be possible without all of us coming together. And I have worked pretty hard today sharing this with you, so take a moment. Thank me by following on Twitch, and join the community, the Daily Chess Musings community. More than this webpage, more than the Twitch channel, more than the YouTube channel, more than my world famous Chess Musings blog, more than the chess club on chess.com, which is so much fun. It's all of that together. It's all of that combined. It's an actual community. Started spring 2020 after I got out of the hospital. after getting really, really sick, and early on in the pandemic. And it's turned into something big, and you can be a part of it. All who want to learn chess are welcome here. Thank you, everybody, again. And I will see you in the future, in the near future. If you want to know when you're going to see me again, go ahead and give this channel a nice follow. So long, everybody.